What's poppin', yo? Today I want to talk about a topic that I've had at the forefront of my mind for at least a month, maybe probably even up to 6 to 8 weeks, and that is how nobody really hates Ice Spice, and if you do hate Ice Spice, you're pretty much a maniac because there's no legitimate reason to, for the most part. The most recent thing where we kind of gotta start this off by going in on Ice Spice a little bit, and that is her most recent collaboration with Taylor Swift. So the last rapper that was upcoming that we saw, Taylor Swift, she had got on a song, or she had put Kendrick Lamar on a song. But the last rapper that was coming up, Kendrick Lamar was already popping, that she even stood next to was, come on, trivia. Is anybody going to get it right? Fetty Wap. She didn't do a song with Fetty Wap, though. She brought Fetty Wap out on stage while she was on tour. I think it was for 1989. I'm pretty sure it's 1989. Don't quote me on that. And that's also the one where she had Kendrick Lamar on because it was on Bad Blood. Man, I'm firing off on this Taylor Swift trivia. Jeez. So anyway, that first rapper since then was Ice Spice, which is Ice Spice as hot as Fetty Wap was those years ago? I don't think so. I think she's close. But if Fetty Wap was like a 10 out of 10 on the scale of scorching hot, like he's basically at the gates of hell, I would say Ice Spice is maybe at about an 8. He had 2 top 10 hits. Nah, actually, if he was a 10, yeah, Ice Spice is probably a 7. Yeah. But Ice Spice is doing an excellent job. However, on that song, Karma, which I enjoyed the song, Ice Spice had a horrendous performance. Now, if you're one of those people that says, man, the whole song was trash, and yeah, Ice Spice was whack too, look, your opinion on this means nothing if you don't like any Taylor Swift music. Now, if you like some of Taylor Swift's music, and you're like, yo, this song kind of sucks, okay. But for some people that don't even listen, people that think Ariana Grande is trash, please, you know what, I'm not going to go there. We're on YouTube. But to say it nicely, you should strongly reconsider that. So people that hate on Ariana Grande and say she sucks, if they're saying this song sucks, it's like, yo, it doesn't add up. It's like if I say a country song sucks. I don't really listen to the genre. I've listened to maybe 2-3 songs. I don't really enjoy it. So my opinion doesn't really matter. I enjoyed the song. But Ice Spice, we can all agree, even the people that didn't like this song, she performed the worst. But now I got to cut Ice Spice some slack after I get this one last point in, which is, Ice Spice, why didn't you get a writer for this? I mean, that seems to be the best decision you could make. Now, we got to respect Ice Spice for having written pretty much all of her music up until this point. And we know that to be true because if there was any moment when the writer would pop up, it's when you're on a song with Taylor Swift. But she didn't. So I got to give her a degree of respect. Well, you got to capitalize on the moment. Like, this is when you hit up a really, really good songwriter and you try to get something to smash so you can show out and gain a new fan base. She did perform. Taylor Swift brought her out at her show too, which was an amazing look for Ice Spice. But I am going to cut Ice Spice some slack here because, number one, this is a very, very, very different beat from what she's used to. Ice Spice, unlike a lot of rappers that come up, especially when they get on, they start hopping on beats by different people. Ice Spice, on the other hand, she has her own in-house producer that they're locked in. I'm pretty sure they're even signed together. And if I remember properly, the only song that she got on where Riot wasn't the main producer was the remix of Boys a Liar Part 2 with Pink Panthers, which that song is fire. Ice Spice has gotten better. So Ice Spice is used to a certain style of production. I think I already said this. Her and Riot pretty much got signed together, I think. Don't quote me on that. But she's used to producing with this person. He knows what kind of beats she likes. Her style is suited to those beats. So now when she's on this Taylor Swift song, it's completely out of hip-hop in general, and it's completely out of Ice Spice's element, because even when she worked with the Muramasa, I believe, produced Boys a Liar, the Pink Panthers song, she was able to catch something. But in this, she was kind of hung out to dry. And I do think maybe it's a time issue, perhaps. They didn't have enough time to get a writer or to work on this song more. But I don't think it was a good outcome at all in terms of making a statement. If this is the first time, think about it like this. You're a Taylor Swift fan, right? Put yourself in the mind of a Taylor Swift fan. You're listening to her music. You love her music. You're listening. You're kind of enjoying the song. And then Ice Spice comes on. That's hurting your ears. you're probably not checking. You probably will check out Ice Spice just to see how bad she was. And then you probably find her other music and be like, oh, this is kind of decent. So maybe this did work out positively. But using that to transition into the main point, which is Ice Spice being unhateable, we kind of give Ice Spice a pass for this. In terms of, like, yeah, this sucked, but Ice Spice has been delivering. And I said, when Ice Spice first came out, Munch, that song, trash. The other song, No Clarity, garbage. However, I admitted she got better. Even Bikini Bottom, I didn't like that song either. I thought that was whack. But when we're talking In Her Mood, the Princess Diana song, even the Gangsta Boo song, which some people will say, yo, that's just remixing, whatever. Boy's a Liar, fire, like I said before. So Ice Spice has consistently gotten better. Number two, how has she managed to avoid all of the hate that all these other female rappers get? Well, number one, Ice Spice is just a likable person. It doesn't feel like Ice Spice, and this is a trait that both male rappers and female rappers have. If you guys recall, when Russ first came into the game, he came in with like this chip on his shoulder, which he had good reason to, but he came in harsh to people that didn't know him, and they're like, damn, like, what's wrong with this dude? Why is he like so angry and upset at everything? Female rappers kind of come into the game the same way. And what happens is it rubs people the wrong way. Ice Spice came in the game and she's kind of moving around like, oh, I don't even know if I'm supposed to be here. I remember she was doing a show when she had blown up and she was basically on the same level with everyone else. So Ice Spice kind of moves with this energy of like, oh, I'm just going through the motions and I don't really know what I'm doing. On top of that, she doesn't radiate this energy that is, I wouldn't say like anti-male, but just like combative with male. And that has allowed her to get a lot of male fans, because some people will say like, oh, Ice Spice looks helped her career. Yeah, 100% they did. But like every female rapper is pretty hot. Like, let's be real here. Or at least they're hot to the majority of males, yet they still don't get a male audience. So it clearly can't just be the looks portion. She hasn't beefed with anyone. And some people say that her whole persona is fake. Her interviews are great. It's like kind of like a bubbly, fun personality. No, she's actually like this. And she's always been like this. And, firsthand sources have told me this. But for those of you that don't believe this, right? You just don't want to buy that Ice Spice is actually just, a nice, regular chick that's just doing her thing. Pretty humble. Doesn't really have much of an ego. Is kind of just happy all around. Number one, she didn't say anything bad about Drake, which she could have. She was smart enough not to do that. And number two, with the amount of success that Ice Spice has had thus far, she's the hottest female rapper in the game right now. New female rapper, of course. She's the hottest new rapper in the game right now. Not even female rapper. We could put some respect on her name and her team. You guys are killing it. If someone had a bad encounter with Ice Spice, or if Ice Spice was really, she was actually a bitch and she really was just faking this, we would have heard at least one story of someone coming out and saying, no, actually, I ran into Ice Spice. We used to go to college together and she was really mean and this and that. But not a single person has come out with a story like that. Not a single person has even come out with a fake story about something like that, because it could just not be true and someone just makes it up just to take Ice Spice down. So she's so likable that people won't even make up fake stories about her having been mean. And I think that's the best proof that there is, because think about it. People will tear down anyone, especially if they feel like they had known them prior. So Ice Spice is clearly like this. She doesn't combat with anybody. Her music is pretty fun, and it's gotten a lot better. And probably the biggest, which has allowed her to have male and female fan base, is that she doesn't try to behave like macho and aggressive like a lot of other female rappers try to. We saw Coi Leray kind of dabble in it, and then she tried to go all in after the Double XL freestyle and be like, nah, y'all don't get it, this and that. And then she broke down. So she was going from both sides of the spectrum of like complete victim to, no, y'all don't mess with this, I'm the best upcoming rapper in the game, blah, blah, blah. Megan Thee Stallion, she didn't really go through the victim angle until she actually pretty much became a victim in real life. She was more on that aggressive rap timing and just competing, and she was trying to be like macho, like, oh, I'm a savage, all of that. Ice Spice isn't really doing that. You're not talking. Ice Spice isn't talking about being no savage. She's just doing the whole like little dance that she does all the time. Although this look with Taylor Swift, I do think Ice Spice has big crossover potential because she's light skinned. So Ice Spice can capitalize on this. She might have to clean up the whole turning around and not only just shaking your ass, but putting like your hand between your thighs. You might got to cut that out a little bit if you plan on getting a bigger audience. The only limitation is that to really, really get to that next level, there has to be an element of melody and singing, which we haven't really seen from Ice Spice. She raps, she changes up the flow every now and then, but what rapper have we seen strictly rapping has gotten to the tippity top and crossed over? Crossed over is an important part. Not many, even male rappers. I see Ice Spice being here for a couple more years. I think she is going to have to either polish her writing, get better at writing, experiment with different types of beats, which is difficult because does she now have to get production from other people than the original guy that she's with? Or is he going to have to adjust his own beats? I don't really know. But she's got all the elements of someone that should succeed and should continue to succeed. But let me know what y'all think about Ice Spice as a whole in the comments. Like and subscribe and hit the notification bell if you enjoyed. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Thank you for watching. Peace.